Hey, welcome back to Europa Universalis 5 for another bonus stream. I have way too much going on. I don't have time for this, but I can't put the game down. It's too hard for me to only play once a week. And so we get another follow-up stream as we did a week ago. But this time around, I do have a very strict timer. I already started it a few minutes ago. It's a 2-hour time limit for this bonus stream. So we need to jump straight into the game. Now, we are building ourselves up in trade. We are much more involved than before. Right now, our biggest problem is a manpower shortage, as we've been sucked into a pretty big war with France, and our main army was the bulk of the forces that we ended up with over there. And we just have not been able to cover ourselves back. But, holy cow, that's a bunch of Holland gone to France now. If we're gonna eventually get a foothold in there, we're gonna need to get on with that soon, as France is just pushing right on into that HRE bit by bit, and largely with our help. Now, we can absolutely go after Norway again in the near future, but in the short term, we are finally into the new world, and we are going to try to expand as rapidly as we can. And as we are seemingly second in the new world, we find ourselves with Portugal going head to head in the treaty of what's the historical name for this? Well, right now it's the Treaty of I8, but anyway, we find ourselves battling them out with that, but this thing tends to go away quickly and not be very consequential. We are not going to commit resources to it. We are, meanwhile, though, going to expand as fast as we can and then see it demolished as fast as we can at the end without putting anything into it now. So the Laird's could be happy. 84 ducats, sure. We're down to 30 ducats a month at the moment, as we are doing multiple explorations and three colonies happening at the same time. We have a new one here. It's a plus 87. It's not connected to anything else, as we are getting into Nova Scotia. Speaking of Nova Scotia, we have turned this into a colony. It is called Nova Scotia. We are also annexing Greenland as an attempt to fix the situation here, where Greenland itself is just falling apart and we can't even get an exploration done of this zone. Right now, the Antilles is the next one that's going to be done in about 13 months. Economy's hanging on, so we're doing pretty well, despite the rapid progress we are making in terms of explorations and of colonization. Right, we're putting a lot of resources into these things right now. Okay, 200 peasants. Yeah, we'll take the 200 peasants. Speed that up. Get those colonies done quickly. Gaining at 100 plus is very nice. These two are already at 50%. And this one's at 62%. And there goes our trade range higher. That's good. We do have one unhappy estate, and they are losing. Their satisfaction equilibrium has dropped off quite a bit, but at 48, it's not bad. Shouldn't have any issues with that. Meanwhile, we are working also on assimilation at 68%, which, of course, after absorbing the Isles, we added 2 locations. Checking in on those, they are going much faster, by the way. Already up to 41% here. We're already up to about the same here at 40.5%. Portugal shifting the line again. Iran's that one that's been around the longest. It was the furthest ahead, but not so much now. It's at 75% though. It's getting awfully close. And then, man, the main focus is up to a nearly done status. It's over 90% now, approaching 91. 25,000 pops have converted. That's 25,000 extra Scots. That makes a huge difference on the balance. This is where we've made the most progress by far. But we have started the process of converting here locally. We're at 5% in down, and that is over 10% here in Newton Airs. Dude, Patrick coming on a little bit slower, but it was barely going. Like, we had one for quite a while there. We've got 1,000 here, so we're up to 9%. And then the last location being here is the one that's just barely climbing. It's at 33. Ay, just 33. They can't quite get it rolling just yet. And that's probably because it's the only one that's not a town. Minus religious influence. Yeah, these are both towns, and we've been able to add in bonuses to them. We are trying to keep this one as just a location because it has tin, and we very much need that tin on the market. We don't want to lower what we have. So it's going to take a lot longer to convert Rathfreeland. And there you go, Antilles is discovered. And that's giving us a little entryway into there. Let's get our next one to go. We actually only have one active right now. Continue inland. Oh, right. We are kind of at the extent of our reach now. We do have Edinburgh Market still aired, so we'll go ahead and pull from that one. Felt great continuing on with the task. We are going to need to get the next land-based one, though. So in Hudson Bay is... Oh, it's at 5 months now. It's going to take time to put this together. Let's go ahead and... I think we want to get Massachusetts next as we continue down the coastline. Ooh, we are outside of the range of our capital now. Are we? We are outside of the range of our capital. So Glasgow becomes our next destination to pull from. Okay, we want it to join Nova Scotia as our next colony just finished, which means we also need to pick out. That was fast. That was fast. Good job there. That's this one already complete. Now part of Nova Scotia. So this is all of these two areas are going to be Nova Scotia, and we will move on to a third area here. And this should be a continuation this way. Yeah, adjacent. Nova Scotia is starting their own colony, but they don't have. They're at +0. So they do not have the resources yet in the area. They are trying to colonize, but we're going to have to make a town, and I don't think we have what we need for a town just yet. So let's go ahead and colonize ourselves. Okay, we do have a town in Nasquatchu. It's kind of automatically the capital becomes a town, even though it's only got 2,300. But we're going to need to help them out. So clay pit, lumber mill, mason, but nobody is employed in any of them yet. We need to help them out a little bit. And how are we going to start that process? Pop assimilation speed. No. A wharf could help. Harbor capacity certainly could help them, but they need certain resources. They need a weaponsmith. I'm trying to think. Let's see. What do you need for a colony? Where's that showing up? That list should be on here somewhere. It's like naval supplies. It's let's maybe look at the one that's already ongoing. That might help me. where it used to show up on this list. I know it's naval supplies. Gosh, what is the list? Well, we know the tools. Okay, naval supplies, tools. I think it's a weaponsmith, but I'm not entirely sure on that one. Let's start with what we know. They need tools, so let's give them tools. And I know they need naval supplies. We might have to subsidize, but I don't know if they have enough pops for this. It's going to be a problem. No, that's Eastern Caribbean Sea. Okay, preparation's already done. That was fast. 40 days left on Hudson Bay. Portugal keeps shifting that line, but it's okay. They're spending a lot of resources on that. Let's just hope that it hasn't been fixed. That's a day. There you go. Maximum RGO size. Also up, so that's a tech done. That's our last up here, or is it? No, nothing to explore up there. We should not be able to do this one yet. Yeah, corridor still tied in. We'll have to wait for that annexation. So, let's see, where do I want to go next? Probably to New York, right? Get the best land in the region. And we're going off of what, Gleska now? Yeah. Okay, this one has taken off now that it has the first location. So once you get that first location, you start getting the adjacency bonus on yourself. So it's at 117, this one's at 108, and on its last location, so it'll be done soon. And then we're already getting the adjacency bonus here, so for 114. So Nova Scotia, or Newfoundland, will be done pretty quickly here, and then we'll be focusing just on Nova Scotia. Trying to finish that up. By the time we get Massachusetts explored, we should be able to start shifting our focus towards those with, 3 active at a time. It's all going pretty well, and we're able to make 40 ducats a month with all of these spending practices. But speaking of spending, we need to start spending not on just that market. We need to spend where it's going to make the most amount of sense. And right now the Spinners Guild is still the most profitable. Finish off the maximum for these guys. Taylor's Guild. Cannery. Okay, let's get into that last one for Edinburgh, but let's get into new categories. Why are you're supposed to be organized? There you go, most profitable, thank you. And find anybody who's not got anything going on right now, like Irvine. Just to speed up how quickly we get that done. Papermakers Guild. Burke again, Dumfries. Inverness has nothing going on. You can get something going on now. Tools Guild, always a good choice. Bellingham. And there's our ducats spent. Alright, continuing on. Already 1502. We've gone very quickly through a couple of years here. We've already embraced our institutions. We are barely making progress on this. We are going to need another armory, it looks like. Irvine can get to it quickly. Man can get to it quickly. When we have the 95 ducats again, we'll get a second one here. Colony, yeah, let it join Nova Scotia. And so we'll be able to push on to the next one as we continue to fly. Fly, you fools. Adjacency, yeah, they're still not picking anything up. They don't have the resources they need yet. Oh, there we go. Lacks access to medicaments and tools. We're working on the tools part, so we need the medicaments here soon. But adjacency bonus. Come on. Oh, I don't have 92 ducats. Like, click and nothing, click, nothing, click, nothing. Hudson exploration. Yeah, we just spent everything. South Farthing will be integrated soon. That's good. That's Iceland. Of course, we already did face our rebellion up there, so it's not as big of a deal now. But it's going to start over, and it has. It's at 5% this time, but it's no longer a rebellion. It's just going to be a modifier. And at 0.33, it's not gaining that quick. But you get these guys integrated, and you're going to lower that quite a bit. Portugal shifting that line once again. Okay, get that next colonial charter going. Yeah, they still can't even build that tools guild. They have what they need. Oh, severe winter. Okay, severe winter will end here in about a month. They're far enough north for the severe winter penalties. And you see we're already getting all the way down to here. Let me see, is these the last states then? Yeah, we are working all the way to there. We are working all the way here. Not this one though. So there's one more state in this area. Moving to spiritualist is not what we want. Oh, come on, France. Leave me alone. Leave me alone with your HRE mess. I think I'm going to stay out of this one. It's already at minus 5%. Occupations and blockades already. So this thing's already gotten started. France has rebounded to 174k and 40k regulars. I'm not sure I want to go contribute this time. Where's their main war goal? Ulick. This time I do not know where that is. What's the map look like? 4 cross zones. Eagles, lions. Let's see if I can find that visibly. Nope, that's hideout. Is that it right there? Yes. There's the zone. About we're going to sit back and let France take this one. Construction speed bonus, that's nice. Alright, How are we looking on these explorations? 4 months away on the Eastern Caribbean Seas, so that's pretty quick. The Massachusetts is still 4 years. Hudson is 5 years. It's going to take a good long while to get to those, but let's say we have enough for Nova Scotia to keep us busy for a while. The annexation is 7 months, and then we'll look into try to sort out that. But yeah, that's all good. It's plus 17 now, but I'm down to 3 ducats because we are paying for some really expensive things here. Part of my problem with getting these guys recovered was that we weren't paying our army. That's also because they're insanely expensive. And that's mostly because we just have not been able to rebound what's going on there, as we still need 750 reinforcements, and we're only a +3 otherwise. Are those constructions done yet? Armory 1 is done, the other one is not, or even not started yet. Kind of did that at the end of the line. So let's go and save the 25 ducats. We're not getting anywhere with this one right now anyway. We upgraded those, and it's been a bit of a setback as they eclipsed. The manpower pool got drained from the war, and then at the same time we upgraded the units, and the manpower drain from maintenance went up, and it offset things a bit. So yeah, we gave ourselves a little bit of a problem. Pike shot tactics over integration. Yeah, integration's there's not much to do, and it's almost done. We're at like 98%. There is the one state above it that would get a boost from that, but that's really not going to help us that much. Let's go ahead and take the pike shot tactics. We are going to want to go to war with Norway here pretty soon, and actually that was an opportunity right there to go to war with Norway, but we can't do that until we have recovered advising an advisor. Pay the ducats, I guess. Plus 30% war score. They're going to get what they need without our help this time. Eastern Caribbean Sea done in a month. Can't quite reach that one from here anyway. Can reach it obviously from here, but you don't have the materials yet, right? They can't even colonize on their own at the moment. Okay, Eastern Caribbean Sea done. I don't think we're going to be able to reach this one. No, we cannot. But can we reach here? No, we cannot. I bet you we can absolutely reach that direction. We could have before. This one's still going to be locked to Greenland. So we can do more land exploration of North America and kind of pull that long process, or I think we make our way down the African coast a little bit. We're already doing 2 of 3 from this way, so yeah, let's go ahead and take the easy route, pull our capital, and explore Africa a little bit. War score dropped back down a little bit from where it was. Defender ticking is picking up. Okay, the battles are very much going in their favor. And manpower is similar level now, and they're only about 10k ahead. And of course, we are about 36,000 of that manpower, and then some. Or 50k of that manpower, at least. And we're not involved. So I might have a vassal or two that's made their way over there, but it looks like they have not. They are all still just kind of lingering here. Hey, you should not be... You have fully recovered. We forgot that from before. We had a lot of damage from a previous war, and we need to get back out. And get our proximity score back up. So we have Irish Sea, we have Hebridean, North Sea, North Isles. Start with this, get those all really taken care of, then you can eventually get the Icelandic. Okay, St. Helena, Newmarket, France, Congo. Okay. So we're looking at a market in Africa. France is colonizing down in Africa. Portugal again shifting that line. Progress towards ratification. 19% of the way there. We have no valid areas to claim, and that's part of what really doesn't matter. Portugal's way down here. We are way up here. We are not crossing paths. Agriline, hey, welcome. Loving the 0.1 streams. Yeah. This time it's just a 2-hour stream. I have a timer. I don't have time for this, but I can't put the game down. I have to play a little bit longer. So I'm kind of rushing through today, trying to get a lot done. Right now, our main focus is colonization, and we're still early in that phase. So we're rushing. We have a good, strong enough economy to, explore ×3 and colonize ×3, so we're making some pretty rapid progress. We're a day away from annexing Greenland and getting that going, but yeah, we're very much in line. What do we have? Change in policy, lose opinion of Holland, that's fine. Lairds are happy, that's fine. They dislike us. What is this? Meddlesome advisor? Is that their event? That's their event. Yeah, that's completely okay. We'll take that. Glory for the De Bruce. We literally have a positive event regarding our family. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. There we go. Annexing of Greenland is done. +5. We're getting little positive things. We're getting little positive things. I'm happy. Army. Okay, so what did we pick up? Yeah, not much. That's it. One little state. But it just revealed the map. It just revealed the map. There you go. We are on track. And oh, look, it's Norway. Norway is still here. So Norway has done a little colonization in there. And now we have an easy target in a future war to continue pounding away at their shoreline. While just taking little chunks, using these for your war goals. Very happy by that. We are going to have to discover this. We don't have the manpower, though, to do any land exploration. Lucky we were able to get those. We're still struggling here, and in part because we are not paying. Let's try to up that a little bit, see if we can't get somewhere with this. That reinforcement was at 700 something. It's down to 500 something. But I feel like we're not really making much progress here. Seem to be locked in. Let's see what the turn of the month brings if we make any progress on getting some troops back in there. Oh, there's our South Farthing done. And no, we're still at 3780. It's not changing. Okay, those guys are all set. This is cabinet action. We have one more to integrate. Or two. Right, Northern Isles, Faroe Islands. That'll go faster, but the rebels have stopped. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and get that done. Bigger population in Faroe Islands anyway. And eventually we'll be close enough to get a proximity share. Yeah, the map reveal very much helped, but we still need the land reveal, and we can't do that without the manpower. So that's gonna bug us. Lorraine out of the war. So France starting to make those gains. 30% still on that war score. I'm guessing that they don't yet hold the war goal, which we found was up here. Staying out of this one, not bothering. That's a big old fight. That's going to be a big change to the war score. For the moment, that's 100%, but I think that's the war goal right here. It's 513. That's one I guess I need to keep an eye on. Now, do I want to like give this land to Nova Scotia? Let them manage it? I doubt I'm getting much out of it. How are we doing? Okay, so they got the tools done. The Tools Guild is built, but and it's fully employed. Very nice. We're making progress on the naval supplies. We will be able to get exploration and or colonization going from them at some point. They're still at 0, so they still don't have the resources that they need. Out of the, oh, there they go, plus 107. They at least have temporarily enough goods. It's a slow linger. Yeah, they're up to 11%, so they are getting somewhere with it, and it certainly would help me if they can colonize some of the land, and then I'm colonizing some of the land. It's all going to them anyway, so the faster that they can contribute. At 91% for Avalon, so that'll be done pretty soon. There's naval range plus 250. That's a good one, and that's all of the tech for the moment. So we jump back into the research tree. We have a lot of tech to do here in the Age of Discovery. We've already noted that the Age of Renaissance stuff, none of it is terribly important right now. We can leave it behind, go back to it at a later date. There is so much quality stuff in the Age of Discovery. By the way, we're up to a 1.9 on our bonus. The literacy could absolutely help us out. More control could help us out. We've lowered that score recently with some new additions. But let me check Pike and Shot first to see if there's anything major here. No. New World. Colonization is the big key right now. We know we can at least chip away at Norway. And we're nowhere near England yet, and we have France to keep them from declaring war on us, so I think I can still key in a little bit longer on colonization. The proximity cost through port is good. Life expectancy could definitely be good. Promotion speed. Arts Academy is very much one we need for assimilation. Silver, lead, copper, tin will be important long term. Colonial administration. No, that's a little overrated. But colonial authority. Curtail burgers. What's the colonial authority? Monthly colonial migration. There you go. Push towards outward is okay. Let's go ahead and get that one queued up. That is one that's going to boost. Monthly experience decay, and is Cavaliers a levy? It is. Army levy and Navy levy. Okay, so an improved levy is obviously important. Okay, now we have not touched this area. Max literacy 10% is huge. for that guy right there so that we can research faster. Generally, like in Hoi 4, I always go Hearts of Iron. I always go research first. I always put points into that first because then you do everything faster. Promote institutions. Shipbuilding, institution growth, but we're good for a while. We have a good 50 years before we're going to be 40 years before we're going to be pulling anything. Not sure what that's going to do for me. Expected cost of court, crown power, paved road. Okay, let's get down to paved road and the cabinet seats. Possible urban rights. Power projection. Let's just get that tree right there. That's through 12. We'll take that for now. Those are big ones. And then we'll look at everything once again once we get through that. Yeah, building the second fleet. I absolutely could get into that. Especially the galley side of a second fleet. We're very much making progress on that maritime presence. And a second fleet could speed that up. And we can even start getting down into, here on that presence. And maybe into Iceland. I don't think it's going to make a difference just yet. Like proximity spread and how much it influences. I mean, we're still not getting out to here. It's minus 13%, but it's getting closer. It's a big difference from where we were. Wait, Northwest Africa coast is done already? That was fast. It was very fast. Okay, we have naval power. We still do not have manpower. It's down to 421, so it is getting better. So on we go. Sea exploration has to be the way to go for the moment. Pull that out of the capital. Great, working fast. Down to 2 years on each of those. And we're at 99.48, so Avalon's going to be done here in just a moment. So I guess we can head over this way to sort that one out. Still working on the naval supplies. Struggling on the masonry. It's the only town we're going to be able to have over there for a while until we start a second colony, a new colony over there, as they're just not going to have the pops. I haven't looked too closely at what sort of pop we have through here, but I'm guessing it's very little. Okay, they're pushing to settle the treaty. That's fine by me. Yeah, 69, 68, 70. These guys are never going to amount to anything. Admin-wise, it's not bad, but what it is it's absolutely killing our control score as a nation. So I really should hand that over to Nova Scotia. Give it to them to administer. Of course, it's going to hurt their economy a bit too. And then Iceland is one we should push control on. At least the 20% variety. We need ducats though, and we have some ducats now. Wasn't there things that I wanted to spend on? I was like, oh, I can't do it. I don't have, like, I never got the second. No, I did get the second armory. Okay, it's just not fully employed, is it? It's 500 short of what it needs. So slowly filling out. What is the gap now? We're plus 7. Plus 7. So we still need. Let's go ahead and get ourselves another armory. Expensive as they may be. Dumfries. We're going to have a limit on armories here soon unless we make a new town. which is certainly a possibility. We'll have to look in this region, see if we can find another town, maybe kind of getting up into here, but you're pushing yourself out a little bit further. And yeah, no chance of a town down here. Well, we'll spend those ducats soon enough. We've got Avalon finish it up. Join Nova Scotia, there you go. That feeds in, and then we had one last one here. Yeah, they're 0.32%. It's going to take them forever to get it themselves. White piece, we're at just 23%. Oh, it's because they're minus 22%. They've got the 50% max from the battles. The occupations are barely existent. Defender ticking is still going their way, so they still haven't turned the corner in that. Actually, I have less troops now. Can they do it without us? I mean, everybody they're succeeding against, they're one by one just knocking out of the war. And then somebody comes in to, you know, replace them, or two come in to replace them. But that'll be the last Newfoundland colony now. And I'm guessing Unamakik is probably up here. I'm guessing that's this one. Mulhouse didn't last long. They just entered the war. Yeah, Sipuk. So that'll finish here soon. These guys just do not have the pops. But we will continue the adjoining colony here shortly. And we're down to 19 months on Massachusetts. But with enough Nova Scotia still to go, it'll be a while before they get to it. War score's down to 22%. My potential targeting of Iceland will come sooner rather than later, but I think I need to try to, as I was talking about, yeah, we're down to 21%. We're down to 33% on control. We're not doing ourselves any favors at the moment with this land. Very low pops, but it's just a lot of low average control. Let me see what the Norwegian, they're at 991. So it looks like they hit their 1,000 as that next one's done. They hit their 1,000. And they are doing a little bit better. But some of them have suffered that attrition as we have. Okay. On to here. Ulick wants to offer us a white piece. I will stay in the war for the sake of numbers and just supporting France. 5 research progress at the cost of 233 ducats. The research progress is the most important thing. Can I put the queen in charge of an army? Get her out of the way for the daughter who's better? Yeah. Yeah, that would be a thing. I don't know if I can put her in charge of an army, though. If anything, you'd want to put her in charge of the navy. Because you take higher attrition. Her consort husband can. They're too old, actually, to have any more children at this point. So yeah, let's just put him in charge. That'll give me a little bit of bonus to our crown power. Mulhouse rejoins the war. They had just pieced out. That's odd. We're losing 8,000. Where is our 8,000 going? I'm not seeing any diseases. Do I have any active diseases right now? Am I missing something? We don't have 8,000 going out. We have 300 going out in colonies. No presents. I'm confused. Why we're losing 8,000 pops. I know why we're losing 8,000. These 8,000. We just gave them to Nova Scotia. There you go. Okay, that explains that part. Army. We'll try the trick on the queen. I don't think she can be in charge of the army. No, she can't. But at least we got her husband to do the trick, to do the thing. Let's check. The minting is down to 1.17%, but it's still struggling. Let's go ahead and make up. We'll leave that at 48. Max these guys out again. I think we could take a little bit more from you. It's only a ducat, but charge the clans at least a little bit of tax. Can we afford to take that army maintenance up a little bit higher and make that a little bit better? Food. There are some areas that we're very much feeding right now. I think we need to spend more, but we are making a profit at least off of food. A little over a ducat a month. Rights of the Burghers Law. Okay, let's look into that. Let's see what we have. 4 choices. Colonial migration, but giving the burghers a little bit of power. That's a small modifier, though. It's a very small modifier. Tax them more. Curtail their power. Block them from the cabinet. They never seem to be coming through anyway for that. But make them unhappy. We have a very high modifier. That's doable. We don't want to push towards centralization with a bunch of vassals though, but they're not going to be around forever. We're kind of reaching into the age where makes more sense to have control of them than it doesn't. So both of those are options. No point in that one. That could be something, but we're not gonna go there. I think we're looking at either at the colonial authority to get the advantage now, the colonial migration modifier there to colonize really quickly while we're rushing through makes the most sense. I think eventually you flip it towards curtail the burghers, which is what I normally go for. The extra tax is a lot of money, and less power from them is a lot, and like we're at 68%. We can sacrifice 5%. We can knock that down to 63, no problem. And they aren't contributing to the cabinet at all anyway. So very helpful, but right now, extremely helpful. I'd like to get that next war going with Norway, but we have got to get these guys, this manpower situation taken care of first. And I think paying them is going to be a big step in that process. It's just they're crazy expensive. It's getting cheaper though as we get them closer to recovery, because now we're minus 483. The reinforcement's still happening, but we can only reinforce like 16 at a time. Stabs back to 70. Hey, look at that. Nova Scotia actually managed to finish one themselves. There's 2 left. So they are starting to make a dent. Now, exploration, it's going to be a tricky matter, sharing maps. I think I could share with them, not the other way around. So as we maybe explore these areas, we share those maps and they can colonize it themselves. War score is at 51%, by the way, so that should be over soon. The West Africa coastline's down to 3 months. Massachusetts down to 8 months. Again, we're just starting in on, I don't know how many we have here. Okay, that's here. This is a separate one? Oh, it is. That'll be the next one. It's got the adjacency bonus. And then you'll have this as a separate. Down here as a separate. So there's, what is it? 1, 2, 3. That's 4 more. Where's your border? I don't see your border. Oh, this is 1. Is it not? It is. So we have what? 5 more colonies to run through to be done with the Nova Scotia as far as we are concerned. Manpower is back to 337. We could be sneaky and get another land exploration going. Jeez, more nations just keep joining the war one by one. That's that West Africa coastline complete. Okay, I think we should have the range for this. We do. Obviously, I care more about the New World than I do about trying to go down the Africa coastline. The inevitable war with England eventually. But we've got to get much stronger. We just contributed another few hundred towards... That's Cologne. I thought that was going to be the whole war. It wasn't. There's your whole war. Ulick comes to an end. They take 4. They humiliated them, meaning they didn't eliminate them. Wasn't a full annex situation. We're back to 4,000. We've recovered 1,000 so far as all. And I'm trying to remember what my grand total is. We're close to it. It's like 4,500. So we're almost there, I think. Though it still says 500, right? And right now the maintenance versus it's still plus 13. Oh, well, gosh, he didn't last long in charge of the Navy. It's exactly what I was talking about, of it being a kind of futile exercise. It's quick death to you. Philip Gray is available. Could be put in charge, huh? That's because he just finished that exploration, preparing a new one. We don't want to put him in charge. 31-year-old? You know what? You're 50. You're not going to last long, but you've got good stats. It's free to put them in charge of the Navy. So that's where we can kind of put our aged veterans. There we go. Next colony done. Still a Nova Scotia thing. That's that one. And now we continue the trend down the coastline here. Okay, Nova Scotia themselves are getting close. Oh, they're going for the islands right there too. Yeah, hopefully they're able to finish that one. What are we working on? Oh, we just finished Maketaway. Hopefully we go for Placentia. Alright, going on to that Atlantic current. And Massachusetts is discovered. There we go. Do I need to finish all these guys? Well, I guess what I would need to see is colonization efforts down here. And we'll only know if that's happening once this is finished. If they are colonizing down there, then we can probably let them finish it at some point and not take on the last couple. And then we would be able to start on Massachusetts at that time. Don't have the manpower. We can get the manpower. Maybe we let ourselves drop to 2 for a little bit. Let's see how you're doing on the goods. Weaponsmith, I know, is one we're going to need long term, so that's next. Coming out of that winter, so they'll start working on it here real soon. Are they strong enough to give them this land yet? Iffy. It's a big stretch for Nova Scotia all the way up there too, but I know long term it makes a lot of sense for me to do that. Give that away. If I start a separate, if I turn this into a separate vassal, it has no strength, has no chance of doing anything. It's got to have external influence. Subject at war. Oriel. Attack to join the first Tyrone Oriel war. Ooh. And that is because Oriel is not a full vassal, meaning they can have their own war. But as long as it's not others, it's Tyrone involved, I wouldn't mind seeing Oriel go down and become part of Tyrone, becoming part of one of our vassals. We have a gifted translator. We can make 1.81 progress on exploration of the Hudson. That's the best option. 22 ducats. Speed up the... yeah, it's down to 60 days now. Northern Isles is nearly integrated, but we just lost the cabinet member. You're old. We need somebody younger who's going to last a little bit longer. But at 32, 41 is... oh no, this is military. It's a 36 score. Take the old man with his great ratings. We know he won't last long. Provide the better boost. Okay, Hudson discovered. There's our army levy upgrade already. Okay, we've got to get on with this one. We're going from 2 explorations down to 1, but I've still got to have the 1. Gleska. There you go. We had the manpower for it there briefly. What I'm curious about is just how good are the RGOs in here. Maze, marble. This is going to be a stronger colony for sure. Ironstone. They're going to have the resources they need to be successful. Route here, not much is going for you. We do have medicaments, so they are getting that resource. That was one of their shortages. They have it down here as well. But outside of that, it's like lumber and fish. And a little bit of fur, or wild game, which is a little bit of fur. Very weak set of resources. Northern Isles, integrated. Excellent. Now there's one left. Or is there? It's not going to be cord, is it? I need to check on that. It's probably integrated already. We're just at 8% on that one. Can't believe I've never checked on that since bringing it in. Okay, integrated but not cord. But even then, it's just such a weak area. It should actually be really easy to assimilate, to flip that. That's one thing. Speaking of, down is up to 7.5% from like the 0.2. It's going much faster, much better. Yeah. Hebrides is still taking a while. 68% overall. Man was getting the closest to being done, so I'll get another check on that. Getting closer. 92% now. Those Irish pops were having a harder time. They are much harder to convert, which is also the problem here, right? But you got to start somewhere. You got to get something going. Once you have that, then you can start influencing what's around you a little bit easier. Culture does spread that way in this game, or so it appears. That Rights of the Burghers is just about to finish, 99%. That'll give us that colonial bonus. So looking at how those guys are at, our 107s, 114s have just become 125s. Colonial migration just took a step up, step in the right direction. Okay, control bonuses. Paved roads are coming soon. I might actually save my ducats for that as kind of the next big financial push, is start turning these into paved roads and getting more control in our main region. But we did point out we wanted to get a second fleet. What's the cost? Yeah, we're only spending 9 ducats. Our Navy maintenance is so much better than our Army maintenance. Good, healthy 33% reduction on naval supplies. So we've got to make sure we stay on top of that as we go for an expansion. But let's do this. Military, Navy. Yeah, we could have 54 ships. So I think we are absolutely okay for adding in another few of these guys. Make it 6. Hi, Johannes. Yes, brief one. I can't help myself. I love this game, and I do not have the time for it. But with volleyball done and moving into the summer, I had no choice. Some forced my hand and told me that I must do this. So I'm here. But I set a 2-hour time limit. I have a timer. I have less than an hour left on it. I'm only playing for a short while. I have so much to do. I missed an episode of Tennis Manager for this morning because of how busy I was yesterday and because of how long I went on the live stream yesterday. That 6 hours was the longest I've done. Yeah. Yeah, 6 hours yesterday. I cannot replicate that. But we're making further progress here. So as we move down, right, we've almost finished Newfoundland. It's on the last location, and then we're making our way through actual Nova Scotia, and Nova Scotia itself is able to colonize now, so they are making some progress with that. Thanks to that, we will let them finish off this kind of last half. We will get through 2. I think I'll do one more. I will do one more location, and then we're going to start a new colony in the North Atlantic American region. And at 95% for that one, we will be on that last one soon enough. So when this one at 87% is done, we will begin colonizing whatever kind of looks best as a start point for this colony, whether it be New York, Massachusetts. And our Atlantic current is less than a month from being done. We might end up continuing on to Africa from there, or we might have a better pathway into here, but probably not yet. It would be nice to kind of see where Portugal is, but I don't care. We're far, far away. Okay, that is discovered. Let's look into the, what is your next thing? And London market. Well, London market has plenty, so yeah, we can do that. So we'll get that explored, and then oh, there's that 100%. I think, who is our London market? Who's being pulled? Is it these guys? No. Is it down here? I need to see who's the market. Okay, well there's that, Nova Scotia. We'll get that last one started. And yeah, there's your, but it wasn't Galway. No, that's Dublin market. Man is in the London market. Oh man, we don't have enough pull to keep that in our own market. Okay, we're gonna need a little stronger market attraction, that's for sure. Parliament. Okay, I want war with Norway, but we still have not recovered. Now, we don't actually have to rely on our regulars. We could just do the chip away version. We have our levies, and they are plenty strong. But, as we noted before, it went so much better when we were able to invade, and we're not ready for an invasion yet. The farming estates is the highest one. Noble garrison law. Don't think we want to flip a law. Garrison side, yeah, no, we're okay. Farming estates it is then. Got our 51%. That'll have to do. Like I said, we are not quite ready for a Norway war just yet. I can't believe we're still reinforcing. It's down to 401, so it is finally down to the last piece of that. Of course, we have spent some, about 750 manpower for these explorations, as that's your army manpower, and this uses your naval manpower. We have plenty of that. Could fund another armory. We are making 40 ducats, but we are almost out of options on that. Get out of market, please. Hello, hello. Did I start? I did not. Oh my gosh. I forgot to start the next one. There's that max literacy, 10%. That's going to be huge. Let me look at the armory. Right now we have limits on, you cannot put an armory in something that's not an accepted culture. They're not happy. They don't want an armory. They don't want to join your military. So what do we have? We have Inverness and we have Edinburgh. It's an expensive one. But it was already the 1.7. It's only going to increase by the 0.87. But that's it. That is all the armories we can have. We are maxed out on those. Better tech will give us a better option, though. I couldn't believe how long I was on yesterday, by the way. I had no idea that it had been 6 hours, and I had so much to do yesterday. I dropped the ball. Like I said, I did not get a Tennis Manager episode recorded or ready. I had my end of season party for volleyball yesterday, so it was not a free afternoon. Education of the masses. We have a new policy available on education. Right now we're on religious teachings, which has literacy bonuses for everybody, and that's probably excellent, except for it's spiritualist, and we very much want to get away from spiritualist. This would be a way to get away from that while still getting good literacy bonuses. But the peasants is the biggest portion of your population, having the largest impact on your literacy bonus. So no, we're not going to change that. So back. We were going to do the third one, adjacency. There we go. I think I'm going to leave, but now that this is done and has been done for a little bit, are we getting joined? No, we are not. Nova Scotia, let me see. I have diplomatic actions. Subject actions, there is like a share map, I think, somewhere. Share maps. Western Greenland Sea. Well, we do want to share that because I'm going to end up giving this to them. Excuse me. That means they should already have the map. They just don't necessarily want to spread down here right now. But I'm going to go ahead. I need to start this next colony. Let me see what is RGO. Stone, iron, medicaments. Those are good. Fish. That's maybe stronger. Though maize, definitely more food. Marble's good for the masonry. There's still iron right there. What is this larger state? Okay, that's up here. You need food, though. Food is the first requirement. And this is the food. Food and stone. Okay, what about if we go the other way down here? Long Island is its own. That's all fish. If you went this way, maize, marble, legumes, that might be your first set. You've got masonry for building, and you've got food. Yeah. Manhattan it is. So, will it come in as New York? Will it come in as USA? I don't know. It's probably going to be something like New York. Except for it's not New York. It's not English. We're Scottish. Will it be New Amsterdam? Probably not. New Edinburgh? Doubt that they'll have that sort of naming convention, though. Be wise if they did. Okay, new Navy. We have grown by 100,000 pops, by the way, even with giving away so much of our pops right now to a colony. And we now have these 6. Let me get them all gathered in Edinburgh. and burr. Gotta, like, that G has to be almost completely silent. I know. It's just hard to... Doesn't roll off the tongue very well. There we go. Okay, it's not family anyway, so it's okay. You are not the 5th Fleet. Let me rename you. I guess 2nd Fleet works. Give you someone. Ooh, a 16-year-old. You will last a while. And patrol the seas. We want to focus more on these kind of lesser areas with this one. Further away. Protected a little bit. Maybe North Isles, or do I want to go Icelandic? We'll go North Isles. Those 2 areas. Trade off. We gained 5, we lost 5. We're so close on the reinforcement being done. There we go, that passed. Stab's almost back to the 80 that it was before. And we made, if we moved things at all, no, we're still on a +7 is all the difference between the maintenance and the monthly manpower. Research progress. I will always take that. Don't need that 7 stab. I'm in trouble, and we're gonna give them money. Yeah. They're whining. They want to burn books. And they want to whine, and they... Yeah. Not nice. Not nice. Source of problems. Always have been. Always will be. How are we looking here? Integration at 23. Assimilation has gained another % here. Gained about 1.5% there. It's definitely coming along a little bit faster. And I said that man should be the one done first. Over 92.5% now. How much did I want to hang on? We have 3 charters. Manhattan's taking a little bit longer on the first one. It's starting with New York. Maybe it'll end up being called Manhattan. I would take that. That's a well-known name, at least. And we're at 14 months on the Brazil Sea, 3 years on the other. We don't have the manpower for more land exploration. Greenland might be the one we want to do next. I mean, we already have a good pocket for continued colonial expansion. We can't quite reach these guys. Maybe continue down that Africa coastline a little bit longer. We're going to need to look into improved tech regarding manpower, as that's obviously where we're hitting a limit on what we could do on regulars, and we very much need to be looking at regulars as the near future for us. But those paved roads, that should be coming in soon. How close are we on paved roads? There's paved roads, 6th on the list. Right now we're making our way through the kind of preliminaries that stand in the way. Dropped to 1.86 for some reason. Nova Scotia, you might be strong enough now. They're still working on the weaponsmith, maybe not. Uh, 0.5 development in Inverness for 20 ducats. That's a worthwhile expenditure. Gosh, I feel like it's time to give that away. Let's do it. Let's do it. I think you might be strong enough to handle. We want to seed a province. You won't let me seed that far out. I'm gonna have to create a new vassal to replace Greenland. Or I'm gonna have to just do something to kick that off. Is this a town? No, it's not a town. We need something like a settlement. Migration, attraction, population growth. And we might need settlements throughout this area. We have one person. How much of a difference is that going to make? They have one. Do any of you have more than one? $33. Hell yeah. There you go. Settlement. 10. Is that going to be enough to get anywhere, move the needle? We'll find out. They'll get a settlement as well. Oh, they're going to lack resources too. Oh, no. They're in our market. They're in our market. They will not lack resources. We killed their market. Hurt Norway, I'm sure. We pushed all of that into our market, so. Okay, with the military funded ones again, we're making 35 ducats, getting through things. We're only doing a double exploration. Minus control. Or spend 7 stab. Spend the stab. Ooh, hello, New York is already done. We have that first anchor for the region, 1,500. That will be made into a town right away. Reformation is kicking off. Marriageable women. Pittook is almost done though. We don't have a choice here. So Lutheran Reformation begins. Martin Luther in Saxony. Okay, in Wittenberg, not near us. They are changing that. I don't know if they've already changed that. It's gonna be so before pops up randomly, like the Protestants pop up randomly. They could be anywhere across Europe. Now it's going to be more geographic center and expand out. Have they already made that change, or is that still a future change? I don't know. I do not know. We'll have to keep an eye on that one and see. It obviously leads to a pretty healthy headache for Catholicism, but as it was very broken, I get why that change came. How are we doing? 2 years on our southern New England, our Connecticut and Rhode Island coastlines. I think New Jersey would be the one that's next to continue that. And then we'll probably pop down to like Florida coast after that. Georgia, South Carolina, push into the Gulf area for our next colony. We have a child. You're just our wait, our child? Say what? That's not my child. Gosh, our daughter's 40 already. She's gonna be past birthing age. She's a good character, but she's obviously not gonna have a kid now. Queen 60. She lives on. The family curse persists. $2K ducats. How are we doing on that maritime spread now? It hasn't been very long, but we are seeing a difference. These guys are at 100. 89 up here. 85 down there. But it's up to 45 here, 78 here. It's making its way. And as we noted down here being important, 90, 98, 83. And it's making that difference, right? We are getting that proximity spread across here now. So it is getting better and better, that maritime presence spread. That control is spread. And we'll have those paved roads soon enough to really push proximity to another level. Add another 5-10%, which will add a lot more control when we eventually get there. Still 250 away. We're almost up to 5,000. Number's a lot more than I thought it was. Heavy cavalry seems to be maxed out again. Artillery is maxed out again. It's the heavy infantry that's not. 3 units. I think what they could possibly be at 1,000 each, right? Or did we upgrade them? No, they're still men-at-arms with 1,000. So there's 1 men-at-arms unit left that still needs like 400. We got 190 of that. Cabinet member dies. Ooh, which group to pull from? The nobility does not need more power. You have too much. There's your Brazil Sea discovered, which knocks us down to a single exploration for a little bit. Definitely don't want to do any land one. Let me see if can we reach this. Yes. We'll get that one out of the way. That last one along the northern South American coastline, and then you're really just down to the last few here. Last we knew that was still out of reach, but we'll have improved range in the next age anyway. And in the meantime, during this age, we'll have plenty of colonization done. And that's this one up here. Again, making Nova Scotia a little bit stronger. Are they still? They're still working on the weaponsmith. There's no masonry left. There's no masonry. Can we get a mason elsewhere? I don't think you can. We can. There you go. We can. We need to find one that has less of an issue with this. 284. 715 available. That's not bad. Let's go ahead and Mason. Not profitable there. The Belle Isle one, I think, was. Yeah, there you go. We'll take that one. Did I do that? Oh, okay. This is like the edge of that last colony. I thought this was one small one and one next to it. Turns out it's only one. So actually that's going to leave just 2 areas left. But are we getting anything yet? No. Nova Scotia was very much keen on here. They could be, for all we know, having explored this way and gone that way, but I don't think so because they still don't have the weaponsmith. No, they would be lacking the ability to explore that area. So they are focused in on themselves at the moment. We cannot give them that territory. Though I could create a cheap colony, but that's just not going to pan out very well. This is only 3 locations. We've already got 2 of them done. So we will have our new colonial subject soon. Settlements are stalled. They're lacking the masonry also. Most of the way done though, the 4 of them. Did a little too much too fast there. So close. So close. You only need 100 more. Less than half an hour left, but we're making progress, and no, they have not fixed it. There are Lutheran preachers popping in into our lands. I think we can burn, is it stability to get rid of them? Before 3? Come on. We need Jesuits allowed to destroy them. Oh, gosh. We might be Protestant. That is an insane level of... Like, no one's Protestant yet. It's too early, but this is going to get ugly fast. Let's get that first update on culture in a while. That's very Icelandic. We are largely Scot here, as we have the majority population. We're going to want to build temples down there eventually, though. %, almost 93%, almost 70%. 48, it is majority now here. Still only 17 there. That one's coming along a little bit slower. And we are making that dent. How are you still doing? It's dropping. It's 14, 15. It's dropped a little bit, but it's not going away. I want to see the outcome of that war, though. I just remembered that. 18%. They're both progressing, but there's still less than 1 here. It's just coming along slower. But again, you start to flip this, you could flip that, and they'll make a dent. We'll have to flip Glens again here at some point. Jewelry output, next research item. Oriel lost 2 locations. These 2, right? They had 4. That was their pocket. Oriel has shrunk. Manhattan. That's a new colonial subject. New York. Okay, it's gonna be New York. New York becomes a town. We'll get a clay pit, a lumber mill, and a mason automatically. Okay, that's huge for getting things started. And that means we can move on. Oh, I'm down to 1. Didn't realize I was down to 1. I was paying more attention to whether they were going to continue on or not. and they're not. So I think what I need to do is one here and then one here. And where do we want to go next? Fish will help feed them, but they're going to be fed. These are probably going to be a little more useful right now, resource-wise, and obviously up here as well. But we don't have adjacency bonuses unless we go up or down. So I think we go to here and get that adjacency bonus. Now we're going to have to pay attention as they finish. Make sure we're putting them in the right colony. New England done in 13 months. Okay, on a coastline in 12 months. They have colonized up here. I do know that Portugal has done that just from paying attention to the treaty. Apparently we could claim an area. What area? Massachusetts. Right, because we see it. They're nowhere near Massachusetts, so claiming it doesn't matter. You automatically get a claim on it as soon as you have a colony done. So claiming this area doesn't do any good. Portugal's wasting a bunch of resources, wasting a bunch of prestige to do that, to battle us. Meanwhile, it's only like 40% done though. Long ways till that thing's going to finish. The fact that I'm not participating is just slowing the process down. Spread the hate, I guess. Oh, nice. Those 4 all finished. That hopefully will bring some more pops to them. Maybe away from the Norwegians, potentially. And that mason's going to be done soon. Meanwhile, they're still struggling for the masonry. There we go. Belle Isle Mason. Important for their progress. AgroLion, have a great day as well. And we'll see you next time. Okay, quickly making our way through. I have ducats. What was I was wanting to spend it all on something. What the heck was it? I was anticipating something coming up in the near future that was going to require a big spend, and I have forgotten what the heck it was that was going to require a big spend. Oh, paved roads. Paved roads was what that big spend was. How close are we to the paved roads now? It's now 4th on the list. We're halfway through. That one's still, that's quite a ways off. I think we can at least afford one more round of other spend. We have not done RGOs at all today. Let's get into that. We can do one more copper. That's a ducat a month. Wool. You have no pops. Pleska does. Sterling does. Kenmore, not really, but almost does. A lot of money in that. Pearls. Horses. Not profitable for these guys apparently, but I don't need horses to be profitable. Remember, I want to keep the cost. So actually, I want to keep the cost of our military down. So let's just maximize these guys. That'd be the cost of cavalry low. Cabinet member just died yet again. Beeswax. Fiber crops already went into coal. Last one. Newcastle's a bit short on pops, but it also has pops. It's a trade-off. Livestock. Take a double there, one there, one there. And food will help feed sturdy grains. Feed the masses. Fruit. And finally fish. Okay, still have 900 ducats left, so we've not spent it all. And we'll get a big RGO expansion. We need to replace this guy who did not last very long, but remember we had nobody young that was any good. We got a 41, or you take, well, finally it works out in your favor. You got a 19-year-old or a 50-year-old, that only 3 apart. Okay, stabs up over 80. Population's only increasing gradually, but that's because we are spending so much on rapid colonization. We're almost 10% on the assimilation of down now. Very heavily going into the 2. First fleet, their commander died. That's where you put the old man, right? Discovered. Okay, so that takes the look back into here. We have Edinburgh Market. Sweet. No. Mr. Esquire, now 42. He'll be in charge of the Navy soon enough. 4 days on New England. And that one's done now as well. We have finally recovered the army maintenance completely. We're still only at plus 13 though, which means we can't do any expansion of the army anytime soon. And getting to 250 should take us just a few months here, and then we can begin our, I guess, New Jersey exploration. Have Nova Scotia, that should be the case. Yes. Yeah, that's this one all the way across here. Okay, and we're working on that one. We have the one left here to finish it off, and no, it's Nova Scotia's just not getting the job done. They got a couple locations colonized for us up there. It would be nice if New York can get something going, but obviously they're not going to get it going with only 3 locations. What can we do though to help out New York? They're going to need a weaponsmith. They're going to need a tools guild. So let's get that going. They're making roads already. That's a little early. Little early in that process. I have no active exploration. We are prepping one. Can we reach the other? We can. We have more range than we had before. Gotta go with somebody a little bit younger. Let's take the 16-year-old now as our new explorer. So that'll get those two. Getting into the Caribbean and the Gulf now. Firm hand, 10 years. Subject income. Okay, that's a nice little bonus for us. 51 ducats without any exploration going on right now. I'm starting to wonder if we can afford to push to 4 colonizations. But the more we do land explorations, the more we're going to run into problems. There's our 250, by the way. That was what I was waiting on. We have a double. That'll give me a triple. Let's go ahead and get New Jersey. It's going to take years. Or let's not. Oh, they're tied to... They've got their locked location now. We could do like New Hampshire and Vermont. Or do we push in and give something more for Nova Scotia? This is a huge area. Ooh, it's gonna use naval. Okay, it's not even using manpower. Let's use the naval. Aberdeen. Nobody young. 47's okay, I guess. Caribbean's only going to take 19 months, not long to explore. Definitely tempted to push that out to 4. The RGOs, I think, are starting to feed us some extra income. Now 50 ducats. Do we want to absorb Glens? A little annexation. We know we can get a little bit of control there. Especially as we're picking up colonial subjects. Let me see how we're kind of looking overall. Yeah, we're at 12. The more you have, the more problems you run into. Denmark. Are you friendly? I want to check in on that. I think it's time to absorb Glens. We know we'll get some control, and we know that as we flip downs, for one, we'll be done with Hebrides here at some point. Not too far away from moving on from it. And then, yeah, you can start assimilating Glens. Of course, we have the Oriel area. That was the next project, but yeah. Well, let's try Oriel. Will you switch to a vassal yet? No. Easier way is from this one. Oh, I was not looking for. Converts to Hussite. Don't want to be spiritualist. We want humanist. We want humanist. That's a difficult choice. Okay, Let me get back to what we had going on here. We want to... My 69. They're further away than they were before. Number of subjects with limited diplomacy. That's pushed it by 5. The positive opinion has dropped by probably 20 because we haven't worked on making them happy for a while. We push that up, but it's not going to get anywhere near where it needs to get. And therefore, we're going to let somebody else take Oriel eventually. They're probably going to be happy to. Tyrone again. Therefore, I think we go back on the plan of let's absorb Glens. Let's get them annexed. The number of subjects is a problem. What are they providing? Half a ducat? 2,000 levies? Not nothing, but it's not a lot. They don't like us enough. Okay, let's get them to like us. Parliament. Not enough manpower yet. We finally have recovered, right? We're back to the 5,400. Hunting rights. Expand hunting cost. I guess that feels like a CB. I don't want war with Norway right now, but we might have to. This might be our time. This might be our time because this is a garbage parliament issue. Norway. Okay, definitely stronger. Well, now we're slightly weaker. Oof. Yeah, they've got 11k regulars. Denmark. Much stronger. They rebounded to 1,300. Got 1,800 regulars. They could absolutely distract Sweden for us. And we have some obvious weaknesses of Norway that we can exploit. France would join. +2. Denmark's the one who would stay out of it. Interesting. Novgorod would get involved? And Savoy? Well, Savoy should be, like down here, right? France would love to beat up on Savoy. That's some cheap war score for you. Novgorod, though, that's interesting. How do you... Are they... Back to Norway for a second. What is your deal? Where are you getting into? That's Iceland. Catholic Church. Swedish Union panel. Like, you have nothing with them. Sweden has an alliance with Lithuania. Viborg is still their vassal. Where in the world is Novgorod got anything to do with us declaring war on Norway? What year? The Swedish Union. Novgorod is now part of the Swedish Union. Jeez. But with France, we are much stronger. It's just... Will France jump in? Well, they've got a big old navy now. They should. They should jump in. Risky. Now, Novgorod's way over there. I don't think Novgorod's going to get involved much. Unless France gets involved. Then Novgorod might, but France is going to be way stronger. Sweden's close enough to very much get involved. But we can take and hold Iceland. We can take and hold the Greenland area. We can absolutely get a war score and either chip away, or if France gets involved, then we can get after them. So you got two ways of doing it. Either the other nations do get involved, in which case we have the better, stronger version of an ally, or we just chip away. We get our 25% war score eventually. So yeah, let's freaking do it. Fabricate a CB. Greenland's further away, easier. But is that a good thing? I think Iceland's the easier hold. We have a naval advantage. East Farthing's a little bit harder to grab. North Farthing, we know that the capital's like right there. We probably have enough to get after it. As we have more troops, we should have more vassals here to be able to take that without even making our regular army get up there. So we'll take a North Farthing CV. What are we... Oh, and there's my timer. There goes my timer. What is my penalty for failing this? We are going to lose 10 prestige for this one. It's a really bad... It's punishing you for not taking their cheap one, but yeah, here we go. Calling France in. We're going to get all of that help. But France is going to beat up on Savoy. That's going to give us some more score. And then we'll see about the Swedish Novgorod edition. We have a healthy advantage over Norway itself. France is back to 250k. Treaty honored. Good. All right. Okay, let's call up those levies. 32,000 now. We're gonna get 213 here. Should be more than what they get, but we won't know for sure. It is a vassal. Vassals get a little bit more of a boost. I think we might need to take some up there. We don't need to take regulars for it. We don't have the manpower. The manpower can stay put. We will take some levies. Doesn't need to be a huge force, but I don't think our 200 is going to quite cover what we need for the war goal. Okay, 20,000 levies. Let's not merge. Let's get them a commander. And let's just use the levies we have here. Give them a commander as well. $3K is enough. Let's bring you to Reykjavik. There's our 252. That's the capital now. We are going to have to hop around, even though that's the war goal. But we'll get both. Let's bring you to Reykjavik. We will take some of these forces once we finish Iceland over to grab Greenland and get that additional war score, get the occupation. Brittany's already up here. That's fast. Yeah, 4K. Immediately running into attrition because it's January. Yikes on that part, but just get up there, get it done. The guy will stand by. Obviously we'll finish down here so we can go pick him up there after, and then head over to Greenland. With France's help, we should have absolutely no problem holding off. Well, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Goes Norway's Navy. France, taking care of it. That's the first battle. Here's the next battle. They're beating up the Swedish Navy. Some of it. Ooh, Sweden has been growing that way. Incompetent diplomacy from the never-dying queen. She shall live forever. Alright. That's already done. We're already taking attrition, so just keep marching. What's your problem? I can't... You can't get through these mountains because of the winter. You can come back the other way. As far as here, wait for the mountains to clear, pass to open, and then we'll just march in. Hey, 5% bonus. Woohoo! It's probably going to be late April before we can move. English exile, for sure, we'll take them. Glory for the De Bruce, again, plus 10 prestige. Lovely event, but can we move on to the daughter yet? Mom took over at such a young age, and she's so bad. Daughter's never going to get a chance to reign, even though she's a good one. She's never gotten a chance to marry and have kids. The English exiles. Come on, April 15th. There. Pass is open. Haven't taken too much attrition. We didn't lose too many of them. Had plus 3% on the war score. 9 battles is going poorly. Vienna. Really? You're having trouble taking care of Savoy? Not anymore, you're not. We'll have that total control soon. That one's not going well. France. Thought you were helping us out here. There's Iceland's forces. 540. Nice bonuses for the commander. End of May. He's going to get here before winter, so we'll have that capital. We'll have it held. There's our 10 prestige and stability hit. So there's the 10 prestige paid for by the positive event that we had. We're making 7 ducats right now. Expected cost of court down 5%. Armies and levies called up. It's expensive. But there's your total control. Split in half. We need to continue to hold the war goal. 1,500 can do it. We do not need to get all the way out, but we need to get out. Coastline. Continue onto there as we already hold it and can land. Yeah, I have things to do. My 2-hour timer is already gone. Come on, pull into port. There you go. And now we go off to Greenland. And we're at 16% in counting. We've got a 4% attacker ticking bonus now. The 14 battles going our way. The occupations going our way. We might be tempted to try to take something off of like Sweden, but I don't know how that's all going to work. Sweden's the bigger threat, right? August 1st. There we go, we've landed. Oh, come on. Why can't you march through there? It's August. That's not connected. Already ran out of food. Are you set to distribute? You are not. Gotta feed him. On to the next. %23 on the war score. We're going to get all of Greenland before we start thinking about what's next. Okay. There's still more up here. Yes, there is. I like the detail that you follow the path. EU4 did not have that universally. Nice clean lines on where you're going. It's a whole lot of locations in this game, so the fact that that's all mapped out cleanly like that, that's huge. Okay, that should be the whole state, as I don't see any other capital. Go ahead and park it. That's going to come in faster, stop them from calling up those levies. Okay, Nova Scotia. Sippin', yeah, that's Nova Scotia. That was this one. We're already on that last one, so we're now able to focus our attention this way. We have not seen what sort of RGOs we have here. Lumber, fruit, copper, stone. Definitely better than just fish. The maize The legumes, more legumes will feed the colony. They are okay. So we're going to start going this way. And that makes colony number 3. We're also at 98% on this one, so that's gonna make, we gotta make sure that joins New York. Oh, got 72 levies called up there. Gotta go deal with them. There we go. Now we hold all but that last piece. Quick stack wipe. Luckily, no losses. Okay, and that occupation is done. March back in. We can get these troops out of here. We hold Greenland. We are getting that bonus. We're at 29%. 10 December. Let's get you back to Iceland first. %30 war score. So, how much more ticking? Hey, I had 30 a second ago. France is messing about. Back to 30. Savoy defeated. Sweden's still very much alive. Did Novgorod take some losses? I feel like no, that's about what they had. And Norway is still largely untouched. Aosta, wherever they are, also still about, but 30% is a decent start. They've had 26,000 losses, and Savoy account for 22k of that. Aosta is losing some. Iceland we've defeated. Sweden have only lost 328. France have only lost 2,700, so they're in good shape. Forez looks like they might have tried to invade, and it didn't go terribly well. So what could we do with a 30% war score? I'm guessing not a lot yet. I mean, we do have plus 85. Now you've got to start with the war goal. That was North Farthing. You get big penalties if you don't. We've got a plus 23 after that. We do not need to go after Greenland now. That's future war goal territory. But it could help what we have here. So maybe ask Eggers to join. Small addition. Feed those pops a little bit. Oh, that's a ship. I'm like, there's no island there. Yeah, antagonism piece, we've got to keep an eye on, but it's nothing. It's out in the middle of nowhere. How much was that? Plus 3. Okay, saving this for future war goals. We want to look at what's here. Savoy could get you into, oh, there's whoever those guys are. What I was really looking at was trying to get into like these states. Like Begus, Sorgun, Bergnus. That's what it is. Burgos. Supposed to be alphabetical, very much not. Who is that? Well, there's Sweden. Sweden does have some cheaper war skull ones. Gotland might be a good addition. That's Gotland here. That's one location. That gives you a foothold against other potential enemies if you go that way. But I was really interested kind of in this. So what if we add that state? So then +5. +5. Rumstallen. Let's go this way. That's pretty quickly a negative. I think I want to hang on long enough to get like 2 states. 2 states that we could maybe get a proximity kind of score going and have that foothold for future invasions. So that's a -19. Let's hang on just a little bit longer and see what we can get war score wise. For one thing, we're only +9 on the ticking, and the battles can still very much go in our way. We're not doing the naval. France has the capital, but that's it. Like, we could absolutely get a better score. Okay, let it join New York, yes. And then we move on to the next. Now, do we want to keep them well fed? Ooh, okay, New York is beginning their colonization process. Let them take it. So we'll take the inland. Let's see. We were returning. We're still on our way back. I'm going to try to push to score that a little bit further. I have to keep these guys present even though they are taking attrition to hold the war goal. You literally have to hold it, not just occupy it. You have to physically occupy it. ×2. We occupy the land. We occupy this land too. But you have to stand on it to accumulate. 22 January. Hold on. Well, let's make our way down to here. Get a little closer to home. Okay. We are making a dent. We are making a dent. Exploration, can we reach? We can scaffold. Dublin, there you go. Dublin market, it is. Meanwhile, we have not had to make a dent at all into our regulars. Okay, let's bring you back. Grab our main fleet too. We'll leave the other fleet behind. So you can come around. I am not going to take regulars into this fight. So this is not going to be a, hey, we want to defeat their forces head to head. But we want to take the largest force we can grab. Oh, 1 ship lost. That's of these guys though, so it's okay. They spent a lot of time taking attrition. A lot. Let's also leave that group that's just been shredded. unselect these two. That's the regulars and the levies that were just involved. We got 28,000 here. Let's connect up these guys. Stick around a little bit longer, get some food and some recovery. As there's going to be a few of them that are, yeah, 54-19. They're too large. There's too many forces here. The food spread's not going very well. Let's go get food up in Aberdeen. Smallpox. Oh, that's nasty. One more turn of the month. Food part's taken care of. We'll get that little more recovery. 37% on the war score now. We'll check if that's enough. We might not have to lose levies over this. Though that just dropped to 36 momentarily. 38. Minus 5. Almost. Almost. Let's head back in. Okay, the large force needs a commander. Ooh, no, you have a task. Okay, we'll take 9k over. That's all we're gonna take for this. We have a pretty good view as to what's going on around here. We could probably pop right into like Tonsberg. We don't know where their forces are. Let me see. Norway is still full strength. They are still full strength, so we will do this the way we did previously. There's almost no ships left, so there's nothing standing in our way of marching in on these territories. And we'll start right here at Stavanger like we did the last time. France jumping up in support. Already we've pushed it to 39%. It's June, we can march for a little bit, get there. Could actually go be useful sieging some or blockading. 46% just like that. Big difference. +7. There you go. I think we have enough. This is a fairly good grab. This is us not taking any losses. Let's get into this Rogaland as well, maybe? Or do we continue up the north coast? We need to check on the antagonism piece. That's something different now. Norway will very much hate us. This is a big grab off of Norway. Iceland, nobody else hates us that much out of this, so we're pretty okay. There's not going to be any great risk. So we will push Ramsdalen. That's 0. Give me one more monthly tick, and I think that's going to be a positive. So 2 full states and a partial third. There you go. +2. Can I get one more? No. That must be a big one. 2,600 people, that's not big. Might be cutting off something. Oh, it does. It would cut off this. Yeah, that's only a -5 now. Go a different direction. Nope, you're also cutting off stuff if you go that way. So kind of same cost either way. What if we backtracked on these 3? That is part of Rumsdellen. Went this way instead. Those 3 seem to be a little bit more valuable. And then you have your start point right there with the Stavanger anyway. Do we change the antagonism? No. Just Norway hating us a lot. Okay, folks, I think that's gonna do it for this war. Good acquisition. Making a Scandinavian presence. Huh? Shires of Scotland. We are too big to be Shires of Scotland. We are now a monarchy. So Shires of Scotland is being removed, which gave us maximum tax efficiency, max rural control, and levy size 15%. We have grown too large. We are no longer in the Shire system because we have more than 125 locations. That's a little bit worrying, though there can be a small fix to that, but I don't think you can get it back immediately. That immediately hurts on those ducats because the max tax goes down quite a bit. So we just eclipsed a mark that made us too big. This guy's still gonna have to... There we go. Okay. You can go home and recover briefly. Still have our 5,400 and our recovering manpower briefly. Possible reform. We lost. Okay, it was a government reform bonus that we were picking up, so at least we get to replace it. But we've become too large for that particular reform. Loyalty of subjects. Trade range. Road cost. Legislative efficiency, base parliament support, that's decent. Colonial range, no, we're okay on that one. We have a lot to colonize right now. Come on, where's the good stuff? Tax efficiency, that's huge. For 5 nobles powers, actually pretty dang okay. That crown power is not that valuable. It's only 10%. Tax efficiency 3%. That's the same, isn't it? Where is it? Tax efficiency 3%. This one, decentralization without nobility power. We're going to be more efficient with our taxes. So the amount we can collect goes down, but the efficiency of the collection goes up. You get your trade-off. We are still going to be tax rich. Okay, that's going to take a little while to enforce, though. We do have our cultural opinion cooldown, Connacht. Okay, yeah, we'll ask them again. Okay, we have a little bit of devastation that's in the new lands we just took. It'll recover. Mexico starts. We're still down 43 ducats at the moment. That is not good at all. And that's just going to be big reductions here. And we don't have the efficiency yet, so it's going to still take a little time to recover. Oof, minting is way down. I was at 40 something ducats before, now it's 18. But that's part of it. We're only at 61%. Army maintenance, we can save that money. Same on the fort maintenance. That's still minus 16 ducats. Ay, ay, ay. Exploration cost is somewhere we could save. Thank you very much. Welcome to the stream, though I am about to finish. My timer went off like 20-30 minutes ago, but I was at war, and you know, you gotta finish what you start. Quick summary of what we have done as Scotland. We've gone from a Scotland that was in the midst of a civil war and rather small to all of the northern lands. We've picked up some land off of England as well. We have half of Ireland under our control, mostly vassals. A little bit of it under our control. Coring it is hard because the Irish are very resistant to becoming Scottish, and we only have so much space for accepted cultures. We're up to like 1.3 now. And the Irish would accept finally. It's come down. We've got a new modifier. Let's add accepted culture. We're about to core all of that land. Beautiful. Yeah, 2.1. So we have finally they finally like us enough that the Irish have become horrible. Nice. We'll get a bonus to that. There it is. New cores. Now we definitely want to go ahead and absorb Glens here real soon, because we can get the control bonuses. This is all going to go up by another, what, 15%? And so will this. These guys are just barely below 0. They'll have something now. We're about to have paved roads too, so we're going to be able to spread proximity a lot better to get control up. We just took this off of Norway in the war that we just finished. We just took the North Farthing off of Norway. We're down to the last state of Iceland. We'll absorb that the next time, and then we have Greenland, and we are colonizing. We've already made Nova Scotia and now New York, and there's our first contact with a native in the region. Those are easy to conquer and can be done virtually any time. We are exploring, and we are second into the New World. Portugal, who spawned New World, is the first. They have presence throughout this area here, though we haven't physically seen it. I just know from context clues. But we also just grew too large and lost a modifier that was giving us a really healthy tax bonus. So we're going to have to recover that. But that is... I don't necessarily know what my long-term objective is, other than having a very dominant North American presence before anybody else and getting a real head start on that. And so far we are. England has not shown up at all, as far as we know, though they could be. We are exploring here, and exploring throughout these areas. We'll know if we come into contact with England. Right now, England is definitely still stronger than us, but France is our ally, and France is much stronger than England. They very much won the 100 Years' War, and at some point we will take on England again, but we have to grow to a certain size before we can trust that France will help us enough to win that war. But in the meantime, they are starting to eclipse England's navy more and more. Right now, manpower is our biggest problem with our 5,400 regulars that we have. We just can't support anything larger at the moment. But coring this will allow me to get a few more armories. So with those armories, we will be able to support a slightly larger regular force. We are getting the maritime presence bonuses and things of that nature, and this will become kind of our next attention seeker to see if we can't get any sort of proximity spread going in that direction, and integrating and coring it over time. But yeah, the easy targets at the moment are definitely Norway and then Sweden from there. France has been growing into the HRE, and I've not been able to get any sort of foothold in there yet because France is always at the center of that, and they end up holding. But yeah, the colonization piece has been the main direction. What I'm going to need in the short term is to overcome the loss of tax bonus, but the efficiency increase should offset that and get us back to profitable. But I don't think we're going to be as profitable as we were when we were smaller. When we were the Shire, that bonus was quite healthy, and we don't have that anymore. I did just notice that, is this from losses? Excuse me. Oof. Oh, I'm done. The ship's repairing is the main thing. Okay, it's not the naval maintenance. We will recover that just fine. It's just the army manpower that's been an issue. But with those additions, we just added 100,000 pops into the nation, and we've set almost on 1.5 million. We're going to definitely start offsetting our strength compared to Norway's even further, but Sweden is still that player. But finally, getting France in for the war was very helpful and made that quite easy to get a healthy boost there. Awesome, Adrian. Welcome. Thank you for the subscribe. And EU5 was one that I was doing just regular edited series for. I was covering that like 3 times a week. Huge hours suck. This is my favorite game. But my other games are a little bit easier to record and produce regular content for. So I switched to a live stream format on Wednesdays. So I was live streaming every Wednesday, and yesterday I had a 6-hour stream for that. I do not have the time for it now, but I wanted to sneak in a shorter stream today, and that's what I've done the last couple of weeks. So I'll be back next Wednesday for the next live stream of this Scotland playthrough. But thanks for tuning in, and to all as well. We definitely made some progress today, especially here at the end. That was a nice acquisition we just made, and we're headed the right direction on expansionism and colonialism. Very much headed the right direction. But the new threat is the reduction in the economy. The Privy Council will help, but how much will it help? Will it give us back what we lost? I'm not sure. But that's going to do it for this one. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.